Okay, well, so today I have all the binding on. Take a look at the guitar. I've got binding all the way around, all the way, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I've got a couple of little gaps that I'll have to take care of later. But what I'm working on today is actually bringing the binding level with the sides. And I'll show you the manner I do this. It is kind of time consuming. Most things binding are, I think. But I tend to sort of hold my guitar against a pad on my bench. I have my handy card scraper and just find my angle and continue to scrape after it until I can bring it down. Switching sides or whatever. However you need to do it to get it to be stable with you. And you just keep scraping until you get it all down level with the sides, and then you can scrape the sides and the binding at the same time. Or go after sanding them at that point. Admittedly, if they're far too proud, you might, use a chisel or sand them or something like that. But this is my method for doing this. So every once in a while, you'd have to stop and resharpen your scraper. Show you my tools for that. Probably seen them before. I have a flat rasp. Basically, I set that down on the bench. Set my scraper down on it and I move it back and forth both sides, and then I move it on the end, square it up, get new metal on there. And then I have this, which is I don't know what they call it, but it's basically like you take the shaft of a screwdriver here and you're going to set your scraper on your bench, and you flatten out both sides, and then you run it down the end, and that's going to give you a little bevel on your scraper that you can then use to scrape binding or anything else. I think I did a sharpening video at some point to show you how to do that. Move the scraper to you or away from you, doesn't matter. If you do a binding like a color like I did, like I've got Padauk on here, so it's a line here. This is the red, is the Padauk. If you sand Padauk, you get red everywhere. Padauk, for some reason, really likes to stain the woods around it. So if you scrape it, you don't get that staining. So there's that. I'm going to continue doing this. I've got to go all the way around the guitar. It's going to take me a long time. So it's take me a week, or better to do binding by hand, put the binding on there. It'll take me probably that long, or almost that long, to do the scraping, I would imagine. So alright, so what I've done here is I've got my neck clamped up to the top of my bench. This is another method you could do. So my guitar is out here in space. If you have enough room in your shop, I barely do. So this area is pretty good, but from about here onward for the rest of the guitar, it's still really proud. So take your time, do it right. Do it on the sides first, and once I've done that, then I'll go around on the other portions of it. But I've got a lot to finish up here. So. Alright, some things you want to pay attention to while you're scraping binding. Okay, I've been doing some scraping in this area right here, and you'll notice there's some dark staining right here, and in some of my scrapings you'll see this really light colored, almost pale white, clear, translucent things. That is glue, and as you work on scraping, if you are not making sure that you do that, so like this area right here, I've scraped and removed glue from, but there's still, you can still see it's still a little dark right there, and so I know that there's probably still a little bit of glue right there. And then this area right here, it is dark and there's some shiny, so I know there's some glue there. So as I scrape, I'm going to remove that. Once it has been scraped, it should either look like this or it should look like this. Okay, and you know it hasn't been scraped if it looks like this, or you can see the lines, or it has glue, or it hasn't been scraped enough. So like up here, I haven't gotten to this part yet, and you can clearly see that I still have a lot to remove here in order to get that to where it needs to be. So again, this is sort of what it needs to look like, and this needs some more work, and this hasn't been worked on yet. So